So I claimed that it would take me at least 2 weeks to like complete that project. So if I say it would take me 2 weeks, then it probably take me like I don't know, depending on how fast it took me to like come up with that code from like ChatGPT. So like if you looked at the structure of that code itself, you will see how basic it is. So if you go to a library or something like that, somebody probably has a much more optimized code to within a certain library based on how they designed it itself. So the code, depending on how well written it is, like if you notice the number of line that's within the code, that increases a certain level of lag in between that system. But it should be minimal for that level of electrical signal at that low voltage and so forth. So in my case, I said it will take me 2 weeks to complete a basic system to just like show you how to design a drone to just take off with a certain distance or whatever. I mean a certain height within the ground and be able to just like take off in a straight line to get to within its destination or whatever. So that last part, I think the most difficult part about that was just the code itself. The last part about it will be like very very simple because the hardware and the connections just like does everything else for you. So it should take less than an hour to even design that system. But because I'm me and I said it'll take me 2 weeks to design that system itself, I'm gonna take like multiple more days. Well, I'll probably complete that project itself by tomorrow itself, but like I'll take multiple days for myself within that 2 weeks to like complete that project. So well, like I said, like all this is already online or whatever, but I found funny that certain individuals said that I had no skill whatsoever to like even like pull myself up by the bootstrap. Yet still, I look at the population and like even like some of the people who try to call me out and they don't even know how to do some of this shit. In my case, like I said, like that shit is very very fucking boring. I won't say it's boring because it's like a hobby, but like, it's like very very basic in terms of like some things, and like it's very 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 reductive relationship to like how many people actually exist within the world that gets bored of that low level setting. So in my case, like I said, when I observe some individual from like the magical schools, like all of them, so it seems to like all have the same setup in terms of like they get this grand image or like this grand project that they have to go off on like work, like when they come to like the school or whatever. They see that they get within an institution to like train them to like accept the same aura within that company or whatever, like that corporation or like that setting, or like they go off to like think they could go on and work on big projects, which they can, by the way. But that shows you that the two main groups are individual and their mindset. And like within that group itself, like there's always that small little group that found that niche for certain things. So the main reason why I mentioned that is because of I think back in like 2013 there was like a fucking boom into like electronic industrial setting, like shit like the scooter down to even the basic shit that you use like the wireless tabless method and so forth. There's like a small boom about that, so you could see like the different applications into like different type of success some individuals had in relation to like designing this stuff, like relying on like certain systems to like invest into like I'll say certain systems, but relying on certain methods to get investments from other people, from like bankers or whatever. So the minute you get an investment, that's like a debt. That if you fail that goal, you end up like sucking a lot of dick and become a slave to whoever you owe that debt to, especially that massive debt. So in my case, like I said, I'm not working on mainstream stuff because you could work on mainstream stuff for fun. In my case, like no, I'm interested into like the niche, into like the niche of all stuff. So just like I'll be in the niche setting itself, exploring. So ever noticed that within the robotic sector that there's very few individuals that are involved into like making the component down to like making custom component down to like even like bringing in the a newer version of like a translation or like a language in relation to how they sell those components and so forth. Kind of like how you had the Arduino takeoff. It's kind of like the same shit. That was like a new language. I won't say new language, but that was like a new language to a new generation. in terms of electronics and different things like that. It's not really new in terms of like being new, but just the setup itself with the language down to like how you use it, the setup. So it makes it very easy to just like work with the rest of that project when you just connect a set of motors, connect it to a motor driver, connect it to the MCU, and let your logic, the way you'll see how the components operate on themselves by their own, operate together and shit like that, and just like perform a function, and that's it. So that's why I said it'll probably take like less than a day to actually do that, because the rest is just like, it's easy to just like build it from there. But at the same time, like I said, I'll take like 2 weeks for myself until like the rest of the days to complete that project. But at the same time, like I said, my niche would be to enter a certain level of framework, because like I said, not too many people go out to like design custom parts in relation to like motors, down to like other things that kind of like improve the design of certain technologies and different things like that. So in my case, all I can do is just go out, write my disses on the internet in relation to like designing custom parts like frames and like different things like that. Like that cut on like efficiency, like weight, production cost, or like which makes it very efficiency, like weight, and like production cost. That makes it like very efficiency, like weight. So like I said, like you don't know like what one set of like bizarre creations can lead to within like within like just like dropping it. It's like a transparent teardrop that you just drop within a society, and immediately you can see the transformation throughout that entire system. Like like the motherfucker who just wrote the quick line for like fucking Bitcoin that to like fucking Tor, or even dumbass shit like fucking basic stuff like like stealing music, or even like different shit like that. Like you see like the fucking ripple to that system, because once they stole certain ideas from another group and like converted that language into a language that was attractive to like certain people, others kind of took that language for themselves and made something out of it. So I wouldn't be surprised if like the Netflix system was like a derivation from like other systems that came before it. So it's kind of like that thing I told you, like you just take that transparent teardrop and just like drop it within civilization, and it changes everything. As for me, that is very, very fucking like phenomenal to see that in this age, those who realize that they're fucking wizards, like real life fucking wizards, is like that is fucking amazing beyond amazing. Like the only thing you gotta do is just like not even be known to nobody. That is fucking crazy.